After talking to thousands and thousands of residents through the primary season and now in the general election, I have developed a simple, clear program to get D3 back on track. I call it my D3 recovery plan, and over the next 5 minutes, I'd like to outline it for you. My 5-step recovery plan addresses almost every element of how City Hall is run and how D3 gets its problems addressed. Let me walk you through each plank, starting with fixing the debacle, which is our housing policy. Here's why the city's approach to homelessness is a failure. It's just a hamster wheel of allowing and then dismantling homeless camps and re-traumatizing people who live on the sidewalk. We are failing our unhoused neighbors by letting them live in dangerous, unhealthy, and unsanitary conditions and degrading the D3 neighborhoods around them. The solution? My incremental ladder of housing success is an important first step. It meets our unhoused clients where they're at and puts an emphasis on stabilization, services, treatment first, instead of waiting for expensive new housing to be built in a decade. Step 2 is placement first. The city's response to our affordable housing crisis has failed because it gave short shrift to options besides just building new apartments. We can also focus on less expensive and faster options using the thousands and thousands of available currently unused units and spaces. I propose we incent property owners who have underutilized space to work with the city to repurpose that space into temporary or permanent housing. It's absurd if zoning and land use regulations compel usable units to stand empty while people are suffering on the streets. It will take us decades to fix our housing supply problem, which was brought on by thoughtless government policies. So the answer right now isn't just new subsidized housing that takes too long. The answer is existing subsidized housing right now to prevent further homelessness. And we can do it by expanding the Section 8 voucher program and making our own local voucher program to include those who need it most. This voucher program would work the same as the Fed HUD program, but we would be more responsive to tenants and make it easier for housing providers. Anyone who has ever tried to give input to City Hall knows this story. You go to a community meeting and have to wait 3 hours to talk while paid advocates hog the meeting. You speak at City Hall and everybody smiles and votes how they planned to vote before you got there. Anyone who works in business knows that customer feedback is a serious professional responsibility, that the city is just acting like it's 1970. We need a single empowered customer feedback organization that uses up-to-date technology and techniques to get varied sourced feedback, publicly report back on what D3 citizens are saying and feeling, and put in place action plans based on community input. And the 5th step in our D3 recovery plan, we need to liberate D3 from San Jose's constraining governance model so that we can create policies just for us. D3 has more than 1,800 unhoused residents according to the city's 2019 census. That's more than any other district in San Jose, and it's a whopping 300% more than District 6. This highlights the fact that D3 has unique urban problems that the rest of the city does not have. Yet we govern D3 the same way we do semi-rural neighborhoods of Almaden Valley. We apply the same restrictions, the same policies, the same funding mechanisms, the same management model to urban downtown as we do for horse farms and 4-acre mansions. It's not a successful approach. D3 needs to be able to identify, design, and fund our unique solutions with a modicum of independence from the rest of the city because our needs are so different. To kickstart this process, I propose we create a Downtown Recovery Caucus, an organization that comprises all downtown adjoining districts, as well as neighborhood and business leaders. Our first order of business is to create a downtown success metrics report card that we will hold city staff accountable to for improving downtown. In summary, the problems of D3 require a radical change agent, a dramatic rethinking of how City Hall identifies, addresses, funds, manages, and holds itself accountable. My D3 recovery plan isn't the full answer, but it's a good start. And it's much more honest, objective, and realistic to solving D3's problems than simply doubling down on the failed policies of the past, which is essentially what the other candidate offers. Please visit my website for more information on this plan or feel free to contact me directly.